for this session, I have some notes because of some of the things we talked about before and some techniques I've been asked to try to use. Is that going to be okay for?
Sure.
If I'm taking notes while we're doing this?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, great. So, just in general terms, why did you come to the agency? What were you hoping to get from treatment with us?
Well, I've been drinking a little bit more every day, a little bit more at night. It's been increasing, and my family's concerned, and they said I should probably get some counseling and check, see why I've been drinking, why they see that I've been drinking more.
Okay, so do you feel like you've been drinking more? Does this feel like an issue to you?
Maybe a little bit. It's just, just having a few more glasses of wine every night than normal, but, it's been a little stressful, but I don't know if it's, normal to do that. I think it's just because of stress I've just been drinking more.
Okay. Does it feel like there's a pattern that you're identifying that the drinking is going to, or?
Well, work's been really stressful, and, family's stressful, and I just add on a few more glasses.
So you feel like you're using the drinking as a way to cope?
Relaxes me.
It relaxes you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were saying that earlier that the family asked you to come in.
Yeah, they did.
To get you to cut back.
Yeah.
So is one of the reasons you're here mostly just to make them happy?
Yeah.
Do you feel that if you were to cut back the drinking and find another way to relax, that that'd be worth working towards, or is this mostly just to make them feel good?
Well, I mean, it's probably not the best thing, to cope, but I mean, they're the ones that brought it up, so
okay.
I just said, okay, I'll do this.
But you recognize that this is a coping thing you're using.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it just chills me out,
Okay.
It just chills me out.
And would you be interested in looking for other ways to cope? Is that something you want to look for in treatment?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be open to that. I mean, I always drink. I always drink every night. I've always done that. But it's just, they just said because it's increased. It's gotten worse, and they said that I get, a little intoxicated a little bit.
You get a little drunk almost every night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But this doesn't feel weird to you.
Well, I mean, I've always drank every night. Okay, I've always drank. But
when you say always, how old were you when you first started?
Probably like 17.
Really?
Having some wine every night. Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like you got drunk to this level when you were 17?
No. Just a nice buzz.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it like in your family? Because at 17, you're still at home, right?
Yeah, but I didn't let anybody know it was given.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your parents drink?
Yeah.
Okay. And did they sort of use it the way you do, that this was a way to relax?
They just always did it. It was just always normal.
Okay, so this is just a normal thing in the family?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever get into anything other than wine?
No. A little weed sometimes, but,
okay.
I just like my wine.
Okay, so a little wine at night to relax.
Yeah.
Sometimes you take it a little further than you wanted.
Well, that's what they said originally,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've been doing this since you were a teenager?
Yeah.
And your family did this when you were growing up?
Yeah.
This is what you learned?
Right.
Okay. And do you have a very stressful job that
yeah,
you need to...
it's just gotten really stressful recently. It's just been really crazy hours and working a lot more hours and stuff. And,
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Does it sound like there's a pattern in this? Did your dad have a very stressful kind of a job?
Yeah, he didn't get drunk every night or anything. He just, always had some wine.
Yeah, he used the wine to relax.
Yeah,
he had a stressful job and relax that way.
Right.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you've been doing too, right?
Yeah, but they said I've been getting a little bit drunk every night.
Going a little too far.
That's what they said.
Okay. You don't believe it?
Well, I mean, I just ended up falling asleep.
Okay. And that's kind of what you were hoping for.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the morning's not always the best thing in the morning. It's hard to get up and stuff. Kind of have a headache and stuff.
So you drink a little wine in the morning?
No, I mean I wake up with a headache from
I see
hangover.
Yes, you're getting a hangover sometimes.
Yeah.
So ideally, if you could sleep without the wine, without so much wine,
right,
you wouldn't have the hangover, and the morning would be easier to get up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
So it sounds like, in general, you kind of agree with what the family is saying. Yeah. Find another way. Kind of makes sense.
But I can't totally do without
Well, I'm not asking that. I'm just wondering if there's something we could develop that would make sense.
Yeah, I hear you.
To kind of
maybe
get the same thing.
Yeah, that'd
Okay.
be cool. That'd be cool.
I'll tell you what. So since this is kind of a beginning thing for us, there's an exercise I'd like you to try, and then do this as a homework thing, to kind of see how this works.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, it's called a push button exercise. So the first thing I want you to do is just imagine as clearly as you can, right after you come home from work, before you pick up that wine, what's that experience like? What's that moment like? Just picture that as clearly as you can. How do you feel thinking about that? What's that feel like?
Like to not pick up the wine, or what?
The moment before you do. You've just come in, you know that the family's going to get in your case, you know you're going to try to sleep tonight, you know it's been a long day. What's that feel like at that moment?
God, I really wish I could have this wine.
Yeah.
But
and can you feel that now just even thinking about it? Yeah. What else is going through your head? What do you think about at that moment?
If I don't do that, then I don't have them to get on my case and deal with their, comments and stuff like that.
Okay. Anything else? Do you sort of picture the bottle? Do you think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
do. I mean, it's like, God, I really want that.
Yeah.
I really want that.
Okay.
And how am I gonna get to sleep without this?
Okay. All right. Let's drop that for a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Do you remember when you were a kid and you had just done some real active, athletic kind of stuff, and you had no problem going to sleep? It was just, I'm just tired, and this is a good tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're just worn out.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. You know that feeling?
Yeah.
Is there anything recently you've done that kind of gave you a similar feeling to that? Do you remember experience like that?
No, because it was just stress for my job, and I just replayed the day through my head, and
I understand, but was there like a recent vacation or something where you did something active that gave you that kind of good tired? You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Like
Tell me about that experience. What was that?
like when I went on vacation and went camping with my family and stuff, and went hiking and stuff, and
You were hiking.
yeah.
Where did you go?
Where did I go? I don't know. We went somewhere. It's been like a year ago when I
Yeah,
went.
no problem. What kind of place was it? Up in the mountains?
Yeah,
Down
it was
the beach?
in the mountains.
Okay, picture that as right
It's
now.
been a while since we did it.
Yeah.
But it was a good kind of like worn out, tired.
Yeah, and that's a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
Just picture that as clearly as you can.
But that's what I get when I drink too.
It's a very similar thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I want to point to, is there are buttons that we push in our heads that create kind of a pattern of behavior that makes it easy to choose this or that. It's the button that we push at the moment before we actually make the decision that makes the decision easy, right?
Okay.
So what I want you to do at home, this is your homework assignment,
Okay.
is before you actually pick up any wine at home, I want you to start looking what those buttons are, what you're thinking about, and what you're feeling.
Okay.
And see if you can tell me about those experiences when we come back.
Okay.
And what I want to do is find a way that it's easier for you to decide, I'm not going to drink this much wine, and then maybe I'm not going to drink any wine tonight, because this is what I'm going to choose instead. We're going to find those moments and those buttons, so we'll just make the path of least resistance is the way they talk about it.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Does that make sense?
All right. I'll give it a try.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, thanks very much.
Thanks.
How was that?